Welcome back, everyone, to day 2 of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. This round number 7 of the season as we get ready to go racing for qualifying. We're just getting the drivers ready to go now for qualifying. Very stable temperatures this morning. There you can see the cars lined up. Thank you very much for your company wherever you are joining us from. My name's Chris McCarthy. A pleasure to have your company this morning. It was a great day yesterday, wasn't it? Very good to be back racing in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. We have had a very, very long break in the season before yesterday for some context. But back off the summer break, we come to where the championship first started at Imola back in 2021. This the first of 4 rounds, which is going to take us to the end of the season. 3 rounds now coming up in September. We start here at Imola, then we'll go to the Red Bull Ring next week, then to Barcelona shortly after that, and then we will go to Monza to end our season. Rafa Kamara, the championship leader going into yesterday. He had just over 50 points ahead of Tuka Tappanen, Brando Badua third in the championship, Sandro Giusti, James Wharton in 5th. A close battle in the rookie championship, and it was all about Rafa Kamara yesterday. Took a record equaling pole position, a 9th career pole position in his FRECA career, and then a record equaling 8th win in his FRECA career as well. Picked up a 5-second penalty for a jump start, but he would overturn that 5-second penalty despite a safety car and go on to win the race by 3.2 seconds ahead of Tuka Tappanen, who was busy fending off Rafa Kamara's teammate James Wharton for 3rd place. Then we had Enzo Deligny, who matched his best results of the season with 4th and picked up his 2nd rookie win. Alessandro Giusti finished in 5th place. Started on the front row, Sandro Giusti, but had a bit of a difficult start, dropped back to 5th. Brando Badua had a grid drop, which dropped him to P6. Teofil Nile finished down in 7th place. Matteo De Paolo finished in 8th. And then we had Roman Belinsky. One of the stories of the day for me, had to learn how to walk again after a road accident, which he picked up after round 2 back on the run-in to Zandvoort, and it was a huge recovery. Roman said to me yesterday, going through corners like here up at Variante Alta, he was really struggling right from lap 1 and all the way to the end. It was just trying to get it to the end, but Roman Belinsky, one of the biggest movers in the race, came back from learning how to get on his feet again to scoring points on his very first race, and that's the longest stint he'd done. He'd done the longest stint, given these drivers weren't testing over the summer, of 6 laps, and went on to finish 9th. Pedro Claro was 10th. So this is going to be qualifying. We'll get into the points in just a sec. The qualifying format, you regulars will know, but for you new viewers, we split the drivers into 2 groups. That is done before the race weekend. It is done by their championship position. Drivers 1st, 3rd and 5th. So the odd-numbered drivers in the championship essentially go into Group A. The remaining drivers go into Group B. On day 1 of the running of a race weekend, so Saturday, Group A will go out first, and then we reverse that process on Sunday. So today, Group B will go out first. The quicker group will form the inside row of the grid. The slower group will form the outside row of the grid. So what we're looking for at the end of this session is to keep a note of the fastest overall time, and then to see if the next group can go and beat it. What essentially all the drivers are fighting for is what row of the grid they are going to start on. So each position really, really counts more than ever in this group format. They will do a process of about 3 warm-up laps. Particularly today, we are the first cars out on track, like we were yesterday, 8:30 local time here in Italy. It's been a pleasant morning. So far, it would have been a nice walk into the circuit for many drivers, staying just around here at Imola. Plenty of facilities just around the circuit. It's a great place to stay if you ever want to come and watch some racing, particularly of this level. It's a really good track. Highly recommend it. So it would have been a lovely walk in. That might not be the case throughout the day, though. A rain forecast just for when we're about to go racing. So we'll see what happens there. It could hit us just after we're done or just as we're about to go racing. That's what the forecast suggests, and it might be a heavy shower with that. In this group, let's go through your runners. We're going to have Tuukka Taponen, second in the championship. He's now 59 points behind Rafa Kamara. Alessandro Giusti, who is fourth in the championship. Ivan Dominguez, who still leads the rookie championship, but there's now just 16 points between the top 5 rookies. It's Ivan Dominguez, 6 points ahead of Evan Gilter, then Noah Stromstead, Pedro Clero, and Enzo Deligny, all covered by 16 points. It's going to be very close. Isaac Hadjar, Leo Fornaroli was a rookie champion, has now become a Formula 3 champion, so very, very high quality in that. We've got Noah Stromstead in that field. Enzo Deligny out there, so some of the rookie contenders. Ugo Ugachukwu's in this group. Nikita Bedrin, who had his first ever DNF in Freca yesterday. Kanato Lee, a podium finisher now in Freca after the disqualification for Ugo Ugachukwu from Paul Ricard. And then Matteo De Paolo is out there as well. Ricky Liu, 18 years old as of Thursday. Giovanni Maschio, home race. Dorian Pan out there. Had a really good race at Paul Ricard and a good qualifying as well. Qualified in the top 10. Mart Garcia, Roman Andriolo, Maya Verg back with Kick Motorsport for this round. And there she is in the 43. Right, let's see how we go in this round. The drivers just making their way down. The pole time yesterday was a 1:39.414. Quickest in both groups were mid 1:39s. Just coming out of the second Rivazza now and down the start-finish straight. There we see the number 99 of Giovanni Maschio heading down the start-finish straight. Makes his way across the start-finish line, Giovanni Maschio. And we got Noah Stromstead now in picture. The number 57 car for RPM going along very, very quickly in this one. Let's see if he can set any good sectors. Noah Stromstead comes over the top there at Piratella. Now going to make his way down the hill. Oh, and it gets a little bit out of shape there, does Noah Stromstead, coming in towards Aqua Minerale. They'll head up the hill now. There we can see the number 10 car just up the road. That is Sandro Giusti. Had a good result in qualifying yesterday, did Sandro Giusti. Would have been a little bit disappointed with how it played out in the race. But has a chance to fight back today. Here he comes down the start-finish straight now. Matteo De Paolo onto the start-finish straight. 1:41.154 for him. Nikita Bedrin goes into second place. So the times are now starting to come down. Matteo De Paolo in third. Noah Stromstead in fourth. Giovanni Maschio goes to fifth. Ricky Liu in sixth. Kanato Lee going very, very quickly in 12th place. Looks like he could hit the front here. And running just a little bit wide there is Sandro Giusti. Noah Stromstead has just gone purple through the first sector, as has Nikita Bedrin as well. So Bedrin is going really, really fast. He is there in the background, right in the slipstream of Alessandro Giusti. Here they come over the rise now and into the left-hander. Alessandro Giusti one of the fastest on track, and following him, and Nikita Bedring going just as quickly. But Alessandro Giusti currently the fastest on the circuit. Here we go, up towards the chicane once more. The young Frenchman looking to get himself on the front row once again. This time he will want that overall pole position. Through the chicane now and down towards the Ravazzas. The Williams Academy driver has really come into form once again. Got that win at Paul Ricard, got on the front row yesterday. Would have been disappointed not to get a podium. This time he'll want another front row and possibly another overall pole position. Round the final corner, down the start-finish straight. Matteo De Paolo back in the points yesterday. Over the start-finish line, and Alessandro Giusti takes us over the line. Will it be provisional pole? It's gone to Matteo De Paolo, but it's beaten straight away by Alessandro Giusti. Here comes Noah Stromsted trying to beat it, goes P5. And what about in the background? Enzo Deligny, he will be coming over the line very, very shortly. Giovanni Maschio goes P4, Tuukka Tappinen to P2. One of the championship contenders. He's second place in the championship. Enzo Deligny is in that fight for the rookie championship. He's gone P3. In terms of the rookie championship, we are missing Ivan Dominguez, our rookie championship leader, from the top of the standings in this qualifying session, but he has just silenced any worries from Van Amersfoort Racing there and gone P3. So great driving from Ivan Dominguez. He did similar things yesterday, waited until a little bit later in the session and then went to up the order. So P3 for Ivan Dominguez. Great driving from him. Enzo Deligny is there in 5th place. Noah Stromsted now needs to be the one to make some places. So it's Ivan Dominguez in 3rd, Enzo Deligny is 5th. Here comes Sandro Giusti, currently in provisional pole position as it stands. Makes his way down towards the Ravazzas. 4/10 he is gaining as it stands, but Tuukka Tappinen gaining 3.5. Out the final corner goes Alessandro Giusti, running slightly wide there. Kicks up a little bit of gravel, doesn't he? He'll take us up to the line now. We're seeing times tumble every lap as the track gets quicker and quicker. Here comes Giusti now, and it's a 1:39.7, so we're almost at the times we were yesterday. Just a couple more tenths to go. Noah Stromsted, 1:40.2. That's an amazing time from Giusti. Is Tuukka Tappinen about to beat it, though? He comes up to the line. Yes, provisional pole position for the R-Race GP driver, 1:39.744. Deligny 3rd is now the top rookie. Ugachukwu 4th is splitting all the rookies. We've got someone who's run very wide there. Lots of dust being kicked up. I don't know if that's someone off or just running wide. It might have been Ricky Liu there, who is now ahead of Tuukka Tappinen on the road. So Ugachukwu 4th, Stromsted 5th, Dominguez 6th. Let's have a look who it was. No, it wasn't Ricky Liu. It was Giovanni Maschio who took a spin and very appropriately turned it round in the right direction and got going again. Alessandro Giusti versus Tuukka Tappinen in this session is turning into a very great fight. Tappinen, I think, might be on a cool-down lap, but Giusti is certainly not, and has a big kick of oversteer there, out of the chicane. Now comes down to the Ravazzas. Will that have affected him on this lap? He will get a couple more at least. He comes now down to the chicane. Takes a bit of curb into the first left. Yes, it has. You can see he's lost just under 200ths there to Tappinen. Noah Stromsted trying to fight away with Deligny. The yellow bars are for the drivers who are the rookies. Up to the line, Giusti. It will be enough, though, to go provisional pole for him. He recovered in the final sector, 1:39.725 by 19 thousandths of a second. He is ahead of Tuukka Tappinen. Maybe just needs to find more in the third split. Tappinen will go for his response, and Stromsted has put in a great lap as well. We now have 700ths of a second between the top three. Oh, and there goes Giusti off the track. Well, pushing for it, goes wide. He'll have one more opportunity. He'll have time to get back round to the line and go again for one more lap. But wide at Villeneuve chicane there. Stromstead is purple through the first sector. Here is that moment for Alessandro Giusti, giving it absolutely everything into Villeneuve and just loses the rear end through the right-hander. But Stromstead is the fastest, and here he comes in the orange and green car now, down to Variante through Acqua Minerale and up to Variante Alta now. You can see he's first through the second split. This is going to be a purple first and second sector. Currently, he would be going fastest if he can hold on to it, but that's a big moment coming through the chicane. He's not the first driver we've seen do that. The track is being rubbed in all the time here. Drivers pushing absolutely everything. It's just hard. They have to take a lot of curb through there, and it can just unsettle the car. But Noah Stromstead, that's going to affect his run slightly, puts a wheel on the gravel, and now he's going to just lose the run up the start-finish straight, but this still might be enough with what he's gained round the rest of the lap, and it will be. Noah Stromstead, provisional pole position, 139.706, and Noah Stromstead, the rookie, goes to the top. Let's have a look. Takes a lot of speed through Ravazza 2, and that just takes him to the gravel, drops a wheel. This is one of the G4 drivers, Roman Andriolo, going wide through Acqua Minerale and has to back off. Last lap times because checkered flag is out. Stromstead on a slower lap. Giusti has gone slower through the first sector, so currently Noah Stromstead is on for a front row start, unless we can see a response, and Tuukka Taponen is going faster. We're seeing Tuukka Taponen slightly improving on this lap. Are we going to see a response? Stromstead is going slower, Giusti is going slower, Nikita Bedrin might be pulling something out the bag on this last lap as well. He's currently down in 11th, but maybe he's going to pull something out the bag. Was that him though? That was an MP car, certainly, who ran wide. This was Stromstead getting the rear end wide, and that's Dominguez going grass cutting. He's currently fourth, and this would be great news for Stromstead's title hopes in the rookie fight. Taponen's fastest. Tuukka Taponen fastest through the second sector. The driver trying to chase down Rafa Kamara in the championship. He's now 59 points as of yesterday. What a response this would be if he could take provisional pole position, but he's fighting with Giusti. They're both faster. So Taponen looks like he will be second to the line. Giusti is coming up to the line and goes fastest. So Giusti provisional pole. Will he be beaten by Taponen, who comes up to the line now? Tuukka Taponen to the line and goes fastest. 139.490 for Tuukka Taponen, who goes fastest in Group B. What a time for the R-Race GP driver. Pulled it out the bag on the final lap there and goes fastest. With a final lap, Tuukka Taponen will put himself on the front row to end what was a very, very intense session. Alessandro Giusti finishing in second place. Noah Stromstead in third, ahead of the rookies. And we've got all of our rookies together. I said to you, 16 points between the top 5 in the rookies, who are all fighting for that title. And we'll have Stromstead, Deligny and Dominguez together. But Taponen, it is who will be fastest, a 139.490 for him. Alessandro Giusti will be on the second row. Noah Stromstead on row 3, ahead of Enzo Deligny, ahead of Ivan Dominguez. In the top 10. Ugo Ugachukwu will be just outside. Then Dorian Pan, great qualifying for Dorian. We didn't mention her too much, but that's a fabulous qualifying. Chance of first points for her. Matteo De Paolo, Giovanni Maschio, Kanato Lee, Nikita Bedrin, and then Ricky Liu, Maya Verg, Marty Garcia, and Roman Andriolo. And Dorian Pan, 7th place. She got 13th back at Paul Ricard from row 7. If she can be inside or outside, it doesn't really matter. She's got a chance to go and get first points for her and the Iron Dames team, new to the championship this year. She came very, very close at Paul Ricard, and she will be very, very happy with that. She raced here in the World Endurance Championship in the Ferrari Challenge as well, where she got a podium. So great qualifying session there. Great head-to-head between the likes of Taponen and Giusti. Stromstead played a part, but we've got Taponen, who's now gone and put himself on provisional pole position with that 1:39.490. So over to you, Rafa Kamara. He says, can you go and beat that time? Can you join me on the front row? So we will now go to Group A. We know the quickest time in Group B, which has just been set by Tuukka Taponen. We essentially know what one side of the grid looks like. We just have to essentially find out what the other side of the grid looks like. And that is what we will do now. So in Group A, let's go through the drivers then. Rafa Kamara, winner yesterday after one of the best drives I think we've ever seen in this championship. I know that's a pretty bold statement as we approach 75 races in Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. We're going to be doing that next week at the Red Bull Ring. We had our first race here. Race 25 was at Monaco, which was won by Hadrian David. Race 50 was at Mugello, which was won by Andrea Kimi Antonelli. And we're going to have race number 75 next week. Just shows you how far we've come in the championship. Presence now in Formula One, confirmed for the rest of the season, confirmed next season. We're top 4 in Formula 2, top 2 shootout in Formula 3, and it's presence all around really in the 24-hour Le Mans as well. It's been a great season for the FRECA alumni, and the present Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, and with the kind of drives we're seeing from both the drivers fighting for the overall title and the rookie title, I think we've got a strong bed of drivers here who can go on and do really good things. And already we've seen 3 drivers go on to race in Formula 3 this year as wildcard drivers, and they've all done very good jobs. So Rafa Kamara is going to be in this session. I mentioned one of the best drives I think we've seen in this championship. I slightly got away from that point, didn't I? Talking about 75 races. Picked up a 5-second penalty, found out he got that 5-second penalty, if you weren't with us yesterday, when the safety car was out. That message would have been relayed to him through the radio that, you know, you have a 5-second penalty. You're essentially racing yourself. And when we went green again, he exactly did that. He won by over 8 seconds, so his win in the end was 3.2 seconds, which was a superb performance. Brando Badua had a 4-place grid drop, which was carried over from Paul Ricard. No grid drops carried over from race 1 for this one, so the grid should be as is, unless there are any penalties in qualifying. But Brando Badua had a grid drop carried over from Paul Ricard, which dropped him from a good qualifying down a few spots. And he got caught in a bit of a 4-way fight, really. James Wharton got himself another podium. There he is on screen, racking up a few podiums now, and he would have been very pleased with that. Evan Gilter, not the best qualifying for him yesterday, 21st, but he came through to 14th. He was a bit of a unsighted driver in that, really, as well. Kind of did it off radar. It was a really good drive from him. Pedro Clero, I say unsighted, it certainly wasn't seen by myself. Some of you guys may have seen it a bit more than I did. Pedro Clero, he is going to, he picked up another point yesterday, a crucial one in his title hopes for the rookie title. Zach David had the blower left on his car, unfortunately, which they put on the sides of the cars there whilst they are on the grid, just to blow some air through the engines, and that is a drive-through penalty for Zach David. Unfortunately, it fell off as he was coming through the chicane. It was spotted by our great team in the gallery, but it was a real shame because Zach David was on for 8th place at least and some points, and Zach David, after a good qualifying and a good race up until that point, dropped down. Roman Belinsky, I mentioned him, he's in the number 4, came back to get on his feet again used that phrase a few times, but that's essentially what it is. He, from not being able to walk, he has come back in just a space of 4 months to get back in the seat and get in the seat and race again. It's been a very inspiring story for not just a racing driver, for an athlete. Enzo Peugeot had to come into the pits. He had contact coming down to this corner here, to the Villeneuve chicane, which sent Ivan Dominguez off. And it looks like he picked up some damage from that and came into the pits. Théophile Niel had his best qualifying and joint best result. He's out there as well. Nico Lacorte, home race. See how he gets on. Nikhil Bora is coming into this now just wanting to get big results. Valerio Rinicella felt the need he interviewed his compatriots actually yesterday in the autograph session. Was really good. If you want to watch that, go to our social media. He's a great character in the paddock. It's a home race for him. And Nandavud Bidambakti, 12th place, one of his best results of the season, and a really good result for the team as well. Well done to Nandavud Bidambakti. Edgar Pierre made good progress in the race. Felt he was in the wrong group, actually, when I spoke to him. Yaroslav Veselau is out there in the 96. I think that covers off all of our drivers and their stories so far for the weekend. We're just under 10 minutes to go. You'll see they're going at a moderate pace. We're just warming up tyres and brakes so far. Rafa Kamara there in the 5. If he takes pole position today, it will be a new record in terms of overall pole positions for the championship. He's currently now on 9, which is the same what Paul Aron got when he was in this championship. And he's not doing too badly in Formula 2 now, where he's even been in conversation in the eyes of many to be linked to seats of Formula 1, and has been appearing in Formula E this season as well. So Rafa Kamara not out there to break records, though. I think that would have come as a surprise to him, to be honest, when I told it to him yesterday. He is here to win a championship, and he's not really thinking about points either. When I spoke to him about that yesterday, he's just taking this race by race. It's something he didn't really think about during the summer either. There's the MP drivers. Nikhil Bora coming into the chicane. It looks like we're starting to go for this now. 139.490. Can that be beaten? That was the time of Tuka Tapodin. If that is beaten, then this will be the side of the grid that forms the inside row. Essentially, it will become a fight for overall pole position if that time is beaten. Up through Piratella. Downhill we go now into Acqua Minerale. We have Nikhil Bora with his teammate just up the road, Valerio Rinicella. What a week it's been for MP Motorsport, with all the changes going on in their team. Up and down the feeder series categories. I'll no doubt be hoping for some more good results here this weekend. Are we about to get some benchmark times on the board now from these two? Into the Ravatzis. Bit of curb taken there for Nikhil Bora. Great shots as we come out the final corner. Right, Rinicella up to the line. This looks good for a benchmark time. Here we go. He takes us to the line now, and it will be a 141.1. So that's going to be our starting point. Nikhil Bora beats it, 140.9. Théophile Niel, 140.7. 7 minutes to go. We're just over a second away from the times that we had. But remember, Tuka Taponen's time came right at the end of the session. Rafa Kamara. Here he is, not travelling at the pace of a pole position time just yet, but Pedro Clero behind him is. He's about to go fast. In fact, in front of him is. That's another Van Amersfoort driver. That's Brando Bedua behind him, and Claireau's gone fastest. 140.3. So Claireau now goes to the top. We're within a second of the Group B time. A reminder, these drivers are now trying to beat the time set by Tuukka Taponen in Group B, which is a 1:39.490. The current fastest time by Pedro Claireau, a 1:40.3. Up to the line. Let's see if James Wharton can beat that. No, but they're building up pace very quickly. Yesterday, it was the first group who were quicker. That can sometimes be the case. You'd often think the second group would just go quicker, but not always the case. The first group were quicker yesterday. Down the start-finish straight, Nikhil Bora. What a result this would be for him if he could get himself onto the front few rows, onto the front row even. 140.2. Getting quicker all the time. James Wharton and Enzo Peugeot both on to go to the top. There goes Evan Gilter, but there goes Enzo Peugeot, 140.099. And James Wharton is now really starting to go for it. He's about to go fastest in this session, James Wharton. So is Pedro Claireau, and he is on your screen. The number 22, the Brazilian driver, comes up to the line. It was the Brazilian flag on top in qualifying and in the race yesterday, and the Brazilian flag is on top so far in qualifying this morning. 1:39.847 for Pedro Claireau. The rookie driver leading the way. Evan Gilter now fastest through the first sector, but James Wharton, I did tell you, fastest. He's lost time somewhere through the third split though. Not too sure, but he's going to get a tow from Brando Bedua down the start-finish straight. Brando losing time through the third split, so he's going to have to wait until his next lap. James Wharton down the start-finish straight goes P3. Rafa Kamara still down in 8th place. Not too sure what's going on there. He's leaving it late in this session. 7.5 tenths back, Rafa Kamara. Well, there we go. I was going to say, when comes the point that we say he's struggling? He's now gone purple through the first sector. I say purple, he's gone quickest through the first sector. Both those phrases go hand in hand if you're fairly new to the sport. There he is. Rafa Kamara going past our screens. Rafa Kamara now the fastest driver through the first sector. Brando Bedua is slightly beating him. Let's concentrate on Pedro Claireau first of all, because he is now about to go fastest. Here he comes. He can only beat himself so far in this session, but he has to find 4 tenths if he's to beat Tuukka Taponen, who was fastest in the previous group. Here he goes up to the line now, 1:39.7, 3 more tenths to find to beat Taponen and take overall pole. So far, that secures a front row start, 3 minutes to go. But Belinsky, purple through the first sector. Kamara, purple through the third. So it's Kamara, Bedua, Belinsky, the drivers to watch so far. Here we go, Kamara. Let's concentrate on him first, and then Bedua just behind. Kamara is about to go fastest. Here he comes up to the line now. What time will he get is the question. As long as he's had a clean run, it's going to be a 1:39.5. He's just off the time of Taponen. Bedua now fastest overall. It's provisional pole position for Brando Bedua. Roman Belinsky losing just a couple of tenths through the second sector, but a very, very good first sector. He's currently down in 12th. Looks like he's about to come jumping up the order. We'll keep an eye on him on that timing tower. Kamara going even faster, as is Wharton as well. So Wharton versus Kamara versus Bedua is coming a great fight in this qualifying session. 2 minutes to go. Oh, that's a spin for Pedro Claireau. So Pedro Claireau, the only one of the top 4 not improving, and that's why. And he did well to get that one onto the tarmac there and get back going again. Improvements, Gilter into the top 5. Belinsky goes to 8th, but Evan Gilter, that's more like it from him. needs to be up there in terms of the rookie title race, and he's just gone P5. Badua versus Kamara versus Wharton. Wharton's lost 4/10 through the second sector, but Kamara looks like he's about to go faster now. Whoever's fastest in this group will be on overall pole position. It's as simple as that. Here comes Rafa Kamara. Is he about to do it? He's 4 thousandths up on Badua. Badua will be next to the line. Kamara comes to the line first, and he goes to pole position. 139.319. Will he stay there? Badua next to the line. Doesn't beat him. Wharton next to the line. Doesn't beat him. Had a slow third sector. Did Wharton. Enzo Peugeot is P6, just outside what would be a top 10 start. They're fighting for what row of the grid they will start on. Peugeot currently on for 5th place, judging on the sector times. These will be the last laps, last chances for improvements. And James Wharton going faster, so is Rafa Kamara. Is it going to be a record-breaking pole position for Rafa Kamara here? This would be a 10th pole position of his FRECA career, and that would be a new record for the championship. And so far, he's absolutely flying. 2 pole positions for the weekend. If he can do that, hugely, hugely impressive stuff it would be for Rafa Kamara. It would be 4 pole positions in a row. We saw him take back-to-back pole positions at Paul Ricard. Can he go back-to-back here at Imola and take 4 in a row? Round the final corner, Rafa Kamara up to the line. He is improving, and no one else seems to be improving. He comes up to the line now. Rafa Kamara up to the line. He can only beat himself, and he does. 139.171. James Wharton looks to be improving, but that is pole position for Rafa Kamara. And that looks to be the number 10 for Rafa Kamara, and 4 in a row. Drivers out there improving. Evan Gilter, Zach David as well, but it looks like they could only threaten the top 5. Roman Belinsky jumped into the top 5, but that could be threatened by Evan Gilter and Zach David on this last lap. Those two are improving. Edgar Pierre ran wide. He is down in 14th place and came in the pit lane. Also running wide there was... that was Tearfield Knowles. Zach David looks like he could put in a good lap here. Get himself possibly into the top 10. Yes, 3rd place, Zach David. So that's a 3rd row start for him. So that's a great time for Zach David. Does it right at the end of the session, and that changes the top 10. Clero P5. So that has changed the top few rows. It's Kamara, Badua, David, Wharton, Clero, Gilter, Belinsky, Peugeot, Nile, Bora now the top 10. So things changing very quickly there at the end. Great drive from Zach David to get that lap in right at the end of the session. Pedro Clero going 5th. And let's confirm the results. Record-breaking pole position for Rafa Kamara, 4 in a row. He is on absolute fire. He's becoming unstoppable in this championship. The championship leader on top once again. He will start from pole position. 139.171, the Italian just behind. Zach David going 3rd right at the end to get a 3rd row start. James Wharton, Pedro Clero in the top 10 for this one with P5. Evan Gilter will be just outside the top 10. Roman Belinsky, P7, Peugeot, Nile and Bora. Nanda Woodbin and Bakti, Valerio Rinicella, Nico Lacorte, Edgar Pierre and Yaroslav Veselau rounded out the field. And that is all for qualifying. We will be back for race 2 at 1:45 local time. What will the conditions be when we go racing then is the question, as we get a great view of the pit lane here Great stuff from our camera team. What will be the conditions? We will find out. What we do know for certain is for the 4th time in a row and for the 10th time in his career, Rafa Kamara will start the race from pole position. Alongside him will be his championship rival, Tuukka Taponen. It's set to be an absolutely thrilling contest. Make sure you join us live here from Imola, local time 1:45 for race 2 of round 7. For now, from myself, Chris McCarthy, it is goodbye.